Hello, everybody. Mike Arnold here, co-founder Path Trading Partners, along with Bob Iacchino. So, gonna bring in Motive Wave, another piece of software I use. They also sponsored our podcast. Gonna start giving them more a view here. Great new version using version 6. It's still in beta, but just started using it. Again, for upgrade from beta 5, I think it's gonna help show a lot more things for us. And we've been getting requests to go into some more other kinds of analysis, some Elliott wave stuff, some more in-depth analysis, and I'll be able to do it easier with this software. So that's why I'm going to make the transition. Let's just jump out to the bigger picture real quick. We had another down day, but I updated some of the ratios, and on a bigger picture, let me just show you here. We scrunch this up a bit. So for our extension, we went from the all-time high to this most recent weekly low. I scaled it back on that to see where, if this continued sell-off would bring us, because we have not had any recovery in this weekly pattern yet. And that gave us this projection of 191.51. Now we'll switch down to the daily chart. Daily chart right here. Let me scrunch this up again. 191.51. What was the low today? I think we were pretty close to that. 191.78. So this weekly projection from the all-time high to this recovery little shelf on the weekly basis is complete. Now, once we get some kind of next recovery, I will move it down. We do not have that, so now we have to resort to the daily. We got this little 2-day sideways move. Okay. We don't normally go down in time frame. Let me just jump down to some of these other time frames, like the 1 hour, because I can't do a lot of analysis for you because it expires. But let me just show you how it looked like. So on the 1 hour, we moved sideways, rotation zone caught up, and we started to sell off again. And when we're doing intraday analysis, we're using the 1 hour and the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, again, you see the little move sideways. Now, this is what we call 8 pushing the price. We've talked about that in our crypto videos and other stock videos where it moves sideways. Remember, we had talked about the sideways movement or the recovery movement. Now, this moved sideways in the rotation zone on the 4 hour caught up. It didn't even wait for the daily to come down and started pushing the price lower. So those are things, if you're an intraday trader, that you can watch for in order to take advantage of that. We're not going to do a lot of the analysis on this channel unless something jumps out at me, and I just wanted to highlight these couple moves. Now, we're still going off this key low. Let me go back to the daily. The daily, here we go. So we're going off this key low. So from this swing high on the 6th to the swing low on the 20th, that gives us this little projection for the 12 and the 25% levels, which were on the other platform also. They're the same, 187.36, 179.48. So those are the next levels we're looking off based off this projection. Now, any retracement, we're still going from this because we don't have any recovery bar yet. So we're still going from the lows on the 20th and the highs on the what was that, the 5th or the 6th? The 6th. So first area key support is still this 195.25, or key resistance 195.25. If we rally through that, let me expand this a bit so we can see it. All right. Then we're looking for, that was a little too much. So then we're looking at 210 cents. So I'd call it the 200 is now the next key resistance. And then 208.42. What's it? The daily rotation zone, the 8 on the daily is 213.92. So that's what we're still going to be watching for major resistance. Remember, it was up here closer to 37.5. Now it's below. I think it's going to come in unless we get a very sharp rally. It's going to start merging with this 25%, and that's going to become the very key area of resistance, which would essentially be the gap fill to this very key low. So if we break down, there's a pretty bearish call today. Morgan Stanley and Adam Jonas, who's forever been a huge Tesla bull. He's the one who slashed his bearish case price target yesterday to $10, which essentially means you'd be going into restructuring, reorganization. It's virtually saying, all right, unless you do something, you're going bankrupt. I mean, parts of restructuring, it depends if you're going full Chapter 7 or you can restructure in Chapter 11. That's sort of what and now he had a conference call with investors today, a private conference call, and he's now turned very, very bearish. Growth story is pretty much over, and Tesla's running out of money. Unless they do something quickly, there's going to be major problems. You can go do a search for that. The audio, it has been leaked. It is out there, and Business Insider did a nice write-up of it. So if you go to Business Insider and search for Tesla, you can see the highlights of that conference call with Adam Jonas. So he's the one big Tesla bull, turned very, very bearish on that call. Surprisingly enough, it held up a fair amount a little today, then it sold off into the close. Selling off into the close is never good for a stock. So if we get below the low, again, our full projection was 191.51. Below there, then we're watching for the 187.36 and 179.48 as the key things. Back into deep oversold territory on the RSI. I'm using a slightly different RSI on this platform. We're doing some testing with it. So no, there's now all bets are off with a divergence. So lower volume today, though. I mean, we had, when it stabilized the last couple of days, we had these two a little higher volume. You can see the last sell-off, no real volume stepping in. Volume stepped in, gave it 2 days a little support, and then support started breaking down today. Volume still not as low as here, but not as high as the last couple days. So we're going to be watching that to see if the trend dwindles. Again, this is very, very oversold on a daily or weekly basis. But the key thing is, it only lasted, the little horizontal correction only held for 2 days, and now more weakness coming in, and you don't want to fight the trend. You don't want to try to pick a bottom. If you are bullish still on Tesla, fine, but you don't want to pick a bottom. You don't just want to keep, all right, today's the low, today's the low, today's the low. You want to wait for a strong reversal signal. For example, let me jump back to the hourly chart. Sorry, this one's going a bit long, but I'm just trying to help everyone out there. You see, we had this sloppy double bottom here, right in the rotation zone, and failed. So that was a very short-term, potentially bullish signal. Just got obliterated, turned into a triple bottom, then collapsing through it. So those are the kind of things you can watch for. You know, some of those higher probability plays. There again, you're fighting the trend. You can roughly see that double bottom here on the 4-hour chart. Tried to trigger, and then boom. That's what we have for you right now. Let us know if you like these new charts. We'll try to get in some more advanced analysis over the next few weeks and roll in some other things. I think this is going to be a little better for us, but let me know what you think. And we'll also put it, if you're interested in learning more about MotiveWave, we'll put a link to their website in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.